Hello, welcome to Word Processing Module 1. This presentation will go over the interface, ribbon, and navigation as we prepare to work with Module 1. So word processing is a software application just like Excel and PowerPoint and Access, but in this one, it's where you type information, whether it's a letter or an essay or a research paper, and it's considered a document. The ease of typing into word processing, you have the accessibility to create, edit, save, and print all within this application. Some extra special features with working with word processing has what's called word wraparound. So as you're typing a paragraph or an essay, you don't have to worry about what doesn't fit at the end of the line. It'll automatically wrap around to the next line. When you want to end a paragraph and start a new one, you would press Enter. It also has autocorrect, so if you're typing something and you misspell a word, if it's in Word's dictionary, it'll automatically correct the spelling when you press spacebar and start the next word. It also has autocomplete, where it will finish the days of the week or months of the year for you. As long as you type the first 4 letters of the word, and then you'll just have to press enter and it'll complete it for you. You also have a large variety of font styles and sizes to choose from, and you can use the copy, paste, move, and delete features. When you open Word, you'll be in a backstage area where you'll be able to select blank document, or what they also have are what are called templates. And templates are already pre-designed formatting designs, and you would just click and type your information, your private information, but you have something to go with. They're great for flyers, for events, you can do business cards, your resume. They're all pre-started documents that you fill in your information. Also in this considered backstage area, besides selecting new, you could also open a document, something that you worked on previously and you want to continue working on, or you save and print from back here. When you open up your new blank document, it'll be automatically labeled Document 1. So up in the very top in blue is called the title bar. Excel is green and PowerPoint is orange, but Word is in blue. They're all named Document 1 until you save and rename it. Up in the left-hand corner, you have the floppy disk. That's to save. This is called the Quick Access Toolbar, and it usually comes with the Save feature, Undo, and Redo. This happens to be the mouse, the copy option, quick print, and then print and preview. And I'll show you later on how to actually customize this to have features that you use frequently up here. Over on the right-hand side, when you open up your account, it'll be under your name as the author. Then you have your show hide ribbon. We'll go over that later on. But you always have these 3 here: minimize, maximize, or restore, and close. Underneath the title bar is your ribbon tabs, and the default one, it'll always show up in the home tab. And underneath each tab is a ribbon which has options that relate to what is under each group. Home is your default tab, and it has the most used groups that you would be working with. If you click insert, the ribbon would change and reflects all things that have to do with inserting. And the same thing with the rest of them. As you click each one, the ribbon changes based on that. The only one that doesn't change is file. That takes you to that backstage area where you can choose new, open, save, and print. Underneath the tabs is the ribbon, and the ribbon is broken up into groups. This one would be the clipboard group, font group, paragraph group, and they're all related to reflect what you would do to a paragraph or what you would do with a font. In here, the default, just like the home tab, the first, it's always Document 1 labeled, it's always at the home tab, and the font is always preset at Calibri size 11. Down here in the actual document, you'll have a flashing cursor or an insertion point, and that's where you would begin typing right at that point. Again, this is showing the tabs for the ribbon, and it's at the default home, and underneath is showing the ribbon that reflects what is located in the ribbon for the home tab, and they're broken up into groups. This is a sample of the font group. And if you were to hover over any of these icons, it usually will show you in a little tip screen that this is bold, and it will make the font type boldface. And it'll also put in parentheses the shortcut key, which is Control B. So hovering over certain icons, it'll give you a screen tip of what it does. This little dialog box with the arrow, diagonal arrow pointing down, it's called the dialog box launcher. And what it'll do is it'll open up a dialog box option or box that has all of these options but in much more detail, and I'll show you on the next screen. So this is it, and it has everything that you want to do here that's similar to what you would select from the ribbon in the font group. But what happens here is if you have text that you selected, it shows you in the preview screen here. And if you were to choose any font type, and there's a huge amount of choices, it'll reflect here as a preview of what you choose for a font. Just like if you chose bold or bold and italic, or you increase the size, whatever you decide to select here, it'll automatically show here so you can get a live preview. You could change the font color, you could add underline, you could add underline color, strike through, double strike through, and we're going to go through all of these later on. Superscript, subscript, small caps, and all caps. We'll go over that later. But what's nice about this is as you're going through the font types and you select one, you'll get a live preview down here to see if you want to accept it or not. Over in the top right next to the insert, next to the minimize, restore, and close is what's called show, hide, ribbon display options. And we're going to do this. This is just a reference PowerPoint, but we're actually going to do this when we're doing the presentations that are actually doing the assignments. So you'll actually see what happens when we choose the auto hide or just tabs. This is the default right now, show tabs and commands. So it's showing all the individual tabs and the ribbon underneath. The auto hide is usually used if you want to see more of your type screen and not have a display showing in the ribbon. There's a tell me, which is usually either a light bulb or a question mark, and you can type any category, columns, page break, how to do something, and it'll give you either an index or you can actually look up exactly what you typed. You can also press F1 and it'll activate the help feature. So the quick access toolbar is up in the title bar, the blue portion, upper left-hand corner above the word file, and it usually just has save, undo, and redo. And then you can add more features that you use often so that you don't have to go to several clicks to get there. For example, if you wanted it on quick print, you would choose, because right now it's showing that it has the save, and if we saw more, it would just show the undo and redo. But you can add to that and have more features that you use frequently. And we'll do this when we do our assignment video later on. Let's say you wanted to use bullets a lot or numbering a lot. That is not an option in here, but there's one that you can choose more command options and select it from there. So you can customize your quick access toolbar for what you like. The ruler, and we'll get into this later on, it actually shows a horizontal and a vertical ruler on your window. And to do that, you would just click View and select Ruler, and it puts a check mark, and you'd have a ruler visible on your screen. We're going to work with navigation. On the Home tab, you would click Find, and if you hover over Find, it'll show you the shortcut key is Control F. and then you would click Find, and what opens on the left-hand side is 3 options under Navigation: Headings, Pages, and Results. And it's just a quick way to navigate through your document. If you choose Headings, it has all of the headings labeled underneath, and you would just click that one and it would take you right to that topic. Technology is universal, you would click that and it would take you right to that area in the document. There's also the scroll bar on the right-hand side, and you could scroll through your document if it's several pages long. You can zoom in and out so that you can, if you need to see something a little clearer, you can zoom in or zoom out. This is called read mode, and this is down at the bottom right next to the zoom in and out. So this right here looks like a little book, the icon, and that's in read mode. And what it does, it almost takes you to like a textbook or an e-textbook where you do not have that title bar, you don't have the tabs, and you don't have the ribbon. It's just more like a book. And then you have the arrow icon to click through pages. So it's more of a read mode. The one on the bottom is the print layout, what it's usually the default setting. And this is a web page layout to see what it would look like if you were to save it as a web page. This is the print layout view. And that's the default setting. Backstage area, you click the file, it does not change the ribbon, it takes you to an area where you would either save, open, or print. This is an example of the backstage area view using for either new, open, or save and print features. Save as, you would click Save As, or you could have, when you were in the Word document, just click that floppy disk up in the left-hand corner in the quick access bar, and it would take you right here. And you would either save it on your OneDrive, or you could click Browse and save it to your documents on your PC, anywhere you'd like. This is if you wanted to select a blank new document. This is if you wanted to choose a particular template. There are categories that you could select, and then you have lots of varieties to choose from. You could actually type in a category and click the search button, and it gives you samples of flyers. Now, when you select a certain either summer or fall flyer, you don't have to keep the picture that's there or the text that's in there. It's just a sampling of the layout. You could right-click and change the picture to something else. You could click in these, what are called placeholders, and type whatever your event is. But they're a guide to have a start for your template. So something to go with, and then you can make changes as you go along and create your own template. If you wanted to open a file that you've worked with before, you would go to that file backstage area, open, go to where you saved it, select whatever it was called, and open it to continue working on it. Pinning a document, if there's a document that you open and close quite frequently, what you'd want to do is when you choose File Open, it would always be at the top of the list. So what you're over on the right-hand side, it looks like a thumbtack, and you would click that, and it puts it on its side so it's pinned, so it's always at the top of your list, so you don't have to go searching for it. And then to unpin it, you would just click that thumbtack again to unpin it. But it would put it at the top of your most recent document, so it's always at the top. There are different ways of selecting, and we're going to do this in our very first assignment. If you double-click on hovering over any word in a document, it would select that word. If you triple-click in any paragraph, it'll select the entire paragraph. Control-A will select all of it. So we're going to go through all those types of ways to select text. So this would be using what's called the selection area in Word, and I'll go through that later, and using the mouse and any special control keys like Command and Shift. There's quite a variety of ways to select the document, and this is by using the mouse and control keys. And there's also, if you wanted to select footnotes or blocks of text. There's also a way where you can select text without using a mouse and just using shift keys and your arrow keys, and Control A selects everything. So there's the old-fashioned way before the mouse of how to select text without using the mouse, with using the shift and the arrow keys. And there's just more of that. You can use shift and the home key, and